Hello. Today we are going to talk about who sit on your table, and no, I don't mean who sit inside your dining room. Although I'm pretty sure that you choose very carefully who comes in your house and what sort of energy they bring, because you wouldn't want to bring anyone who doesn't match your values and who is not in alignment with your personality, with your family, or with your energy, right? So the same thing we have to do for our inner self. So I like you to imagine that there is a table inside yourself, and you are the host of that table. You are the head, and around you there is a lot, the many roles that you play daily. It might be the counselor, the therapist, the helper, the doer, the one that suffers FOMO and doesn't want to miss anything, the one that can say no to anything, the one that can say yes to anything. you know think of all the many versions of you, the many roles that you play daily, and see them at your table. The good, the bad, and the ugly, all of them. The many versions of you that they are currently with you. See them all at your table. And now, write it down, maybe, perhaps. And when you've done, I'd like you to think of the many roles and many versions of you that you most elevated you, okay, bring to the table, and invite them as well. So the most elevated version of you, the one that sees possibilities, the one that creates, the one that is a visionary, the one that is a leader, the one that sees that everything is possible, the dreamer, the connector, the compassionate, bring all of them to a table. I've done this exercise, by the way. And what happened to me, what really happened, is that when I did it, I realized that the room became teeny, tiny. It was so many of us between, it was impossible to breathe. Before I knew, I have, my current roles, all of them on the table. Some of my old roles that they were coming and going. And then I have the person, my most elevated version of me roles coming to the table as well. I invited everybody. I'm very generous like that, and every now and then I do get in trouble. I really do. For real. So all of a sudden I had everyone on the table, and it was impossible to breathe in that table. And not only not that, I noticed some of the version of me now, my assistant roles, were arguing and fighting with, they didn't, with my new roles. They just didn't agree. They cannot find harmony because they are very different. They are not in alignment with each other. And so I had to let some of these roles to go. Of course, I decided to let go all the roles that they don't serve me anymore, that I'm currently embodying, right? So I let go of the doer. I have let go of the one that is always pressed for time, and I have let go of some others as well. And what I want you to do is to really pick one by one, write them down or vision them in your head, all the existing roles, and say, okay, you cannot live with my new role. Just guys cannot be friends. I need to let you go. Make the decision, and one by one, really mean it with your heart and see them going. And you'll notice how much space and silence all of a sudden you are going to create. As I said, I've done it, and it was quite unbelievable what I felt. I felt this incredible shift because I went from a very suffocating and overcrowded room to a room where only the best of the best were invited, only the people, the roles that I want to have on my table. A selected few. And they all have a space to breathe and talk and be themselves. And because they all have a space, all of a sudden, there was flow. There was, the imagination was there, the energy was there, the room was happy, and all my roles were interacting with each other. And all of a sudden creativity was there, and creativity was talking to the one that solves all the problems, right? And so many things happen only in a couple of minutes for me. And I want you to do this. Remember, your old identity or your even existing identity doesn't match the most elevated version of you. So you're going to have to make that decision, see some of those roles go, and see how you feel when you invite only the selective few that you want to have at your table. It's going to make a great difference. Old identity and new identity don't match. And when you start thinking about what are the roles that maybe they don't come into mind, I give you a few examples. For example, you might be the helper. You might be the clown. That person that has to make jokes all the time so everyone feels good. I was at one given time. You might be the cheerleader all the time. You might be the counselor, the people pleaser, the one that feels imposter syndrome, the energy holder, the one that's constantly accommodating. Think of all these roles that you might have in mind. No, of course, the mother, the chef, the father, the single person, think of all your roles. And then think of the visionary, the leader, the change maker, the entrepreneur, the powerful person, the direct, authentic being. Think of the resilient, the empathetic, the compassionate, the one that is can make connection with other people. Think of all these new versions of you and make peace with them. Let them grow. I hope you enjoy this video. It's really hard. It's an exercise that definitely has helped me a lot, because first of all, you don't realize how many beans are there on the table. Then you don't realize that you are living really with two identities at the same time for some of us, Then you identify, gives you the chance to identify who are they and who needs to go. And also after that, what happens is you notice peace and you notice calm and you notice that everything changed. I'm Marina from Marina Zest for Life. You can find me everywhere on social media and in my website. And what I very much believe is that self-mastery is the foundation of a fulfilled life. If you like these sort of self-growth topics and alignment topics, I hope to see you here again in this channel, in this space, the space for you to breathe. Thank you, and until then,